Welcome back to the 2026 USA Club Rugby Championships. It's the Northern Super Regionals here live from Lamont, Illinois. We are ready to rock and roll for the D2 Women's Final here on Championship Sunday. It's the Milwaukee Scylla taking on the South Buffalo Herd in what should be a fantastic clash for the D2 Championship. I'm Tim Wilkes, joined up here in the booth by Mr. Great American Rugby himself, Lance Kavanaugh. Find him on all your favorite social medias. Lance, we've got an excellent match on our hands here. Milwaukee Scylla, your D2 national champions from 2017. They're looking to cash in again.
And one thing we've seen in abundance is the step. Claire Timashek, absolutely monstrous in the game yesterday. Also had a lot of help from the forwards, a lot of help from Beth St. Vincent. And when you needed points, she was there to give it. They got the scoreline one-sided pretty early, but that didn't stop them having defensive tenacity. It didn't stop them from competing the entire game. So much can be said about this Scylla side. I got their name wrong in the game yesterday. I won't make that mistake again. They are stamped and fused into my brain. I know Scylla when I see it, and I know a good side when I see it, really determined to take it forward into the Final Four this year.
Yeah, the Greek mythological water beasts put up a 64-12 victory over the Utah Slugs yesterday, and we switch gears, go back over to the Herd. And Lance, it was one of the most incredible matches that I have seen this season. It was 36-17 with 16 minutes left to go, and that's when the Herd turned it on. They scored an incredible 27 points in the last 16 minutes, 5 tries in a row. That lady right there, Sierra Persad, with the cramp just before that. You see her, she doesn't want to get back up. She had 3 tries, the hat trick on the day, this beautiful little kick through over to her teammate. They brought it home. An incredible match. Amanda Lanau finished it off here on the outside. She had 2 tries, as well as, again, South Buffalo throwing up 27 points in 16 minutes of action to steal the victory away. 44-36 was the final. We'll see what they've got left in the tank, because they definitely gave it all out there yesterday, but it's going to set up for a tremendous national championship final. Our referee, Sybil Levine, also Katie Schubert and Cindy Rongalam as well, lurking on the sidelines. We thank them for being out here, pulling in some of the best referees from the Midwest. We're just about ready for action. Lance, what do you expect to see out here? Again, a huge 52-point win for Milwaukee yesterday, but a little bit of an uptick in the opponent here.
I think we're going to see a full 80 minutes. The Herd let us know that they will play an entire game, and Scylla as well continue to compete through and through, no matter the scoreline. So I expect both teams to compete to the bitter end, and we're going to have some fireworks here today.
It's a mistake there, referee Sybil trying to just implore them to roll away. They did not. Now they're going to look to make them pay. Grace Hoved takes it over the 22-meter line and gets them into attacking territory. Advantages on as well. Out to the right-hand side, Heineman. 15 meters out now as they continue to surge. A couple of mistakes here for South Buffalo. They've got to hold the fort down now.
All of you, one step. Yes.
Strong work, scooped out of there by Engman. Keeps them back on the charge. Is Hoved again. She got him close, trying to push him over, but she's denied 3 meters out. Now they'll look to spin it to the outside. Through the hands they come. Out there to Kaiser.
The ball is there.
Ladies in green hold again. They'll continue to try and find some space on the weak side. They're over the line, but it's held up.
Held up, no
And
try.
it does not come to fruition. No try. Will come back to a goal line drop.
And what an absolute defensive effort. You've seen bodies piling around the ball, doing whatever's necessary to keep Scylla out. Also, we've seen an unrelenting offensive attack. This is going to be one of those matches for sure.
Send this one deep off of the goal line drop, but they are not out of the woods yet. Here they come back again. Hensel. Kyla Hensel dishes it off to the outside. Backward, says the referee, over to Kayla Smith. To retreat and regroup from here. And this Scylla squad, so potent, 62 points yesterday, but the heart of a champion there for South Buffalo. Went through it earlier. The Herd, nothing to play around with. They'll scoop this one back out again. Try to find some space here near side. There's the hat trick score yesterday. Claire Tomaszek keeps things moving all the way out to the lock. Heineman. Door gets slammed shut though, and she knocks it forward. So unfortunate stuff, but already, Lance, we're seeing this high pressure offensive prowess from the Scylla.
And Scylla showcasing again, unable to finish on that second surge. But also, you got to be reminded, their defense got the ball almost immediately to start this game. So even though their offense is potent, their defense is something they rely on. And we're going to see what they can do in their first defensive set piece here against a South Buffalo Herd side that are still on high alert from that last game yesterday.
Bind. Set.
Anna Pitliangas had to try to her name yesterday. The hometown hero from Buffalo, New York will look to have this one again, as we just kind of fell apart that first time. We'll move them out. If you're just joining us, that rain started to come down as the Tradesmen punched their ticket to the national championship. They are one of the top 4 teams in the country. Again, big congratulations to all those boys from Detroit who earned this game in and game out throughout the season. Pitliangas trying to get her team into the same position. Huge shove from the Scylla sends them retreating. They're scrambling for it, and Pitliangas does a fantastic job to get that one back out under possession. Good tackle there from Shield, the number 7 for the Scylla. Still on the front foot. There's the kick up over the top from Sierra Prasad. Around the side they come. Here the Scylla found some space on the outside, made them pay. First try of the match coming in from Claire Engman.
And all it took was a bounce of a ball and some determination. Claire eyes are up as soon as she gets the ball, seeing she has enough space to that touchline, and just rounds everyone on South Buffalo. And just opportunistic, as always. Defense turns into offense, able to keep them pinned, and once you have your hands on the ball, danger awaits. As Scylla able to get on the board early in this D2 final here.
Great work on the outside by Engman. The kick up and slots through the center. Great work. Engman with the applause. She has done a tremendous job this season. Just her second year with the Scylla, but she was the back of the year this past year. Again, out of Northern Michigan University. Has done a great job bringing them back to the brink of another national championship berth here for the Scylla. 5 minutes in, Lance, and really the Herd have not even been able to push their way over that midfield stripe yet.
And that just shows the determination of the Scylla side. They're going to keep you pinned and play with high pressure. Can South Buffalo absorb, and can the Herd be heard and get on the scoreboard here?
This time it's the Scylla having to play from inside their own 22. I like the strategy with the deep kick, a little bit of wind at their back as well. Splitting a couple of would-be tacklers. Great work. That was Heineman again. She's had a couple of strong carries so far. This time they have to retreat with it. Kolpak will just eat it inside the 22. Charging defense out there, and they're able to swim through it. Great work by Beth St. Vincent. She had the double 2 tries yesterday, and you see a bit of that wizardry there with the ball. They're able to retain possession nicely out of it. Bukvic. She had a try yesterday. As again, 6 minutes into this match. We thank you for watching us. This next level rugby production. A chance to come back here in 2 weeks and play for the national championship. Handoff there to Kayla Smith.
One step.
Marches them into enemy territory. Heineman again. Heineman, 2.5 years with the club. Continues the surge around the outside. They're trying to find some space out there. Jessica Gold spins out of one, makes another 5 meters. Pack of 3 there. They're not going to need the support. Shield with it. Bursts over that 22-meter line and gets them into attacking territory again. Only a minute 40 off the clock, and they have made a good 60 meters as they march their way down the pitch. Engman again pulls it out of there. Charge forward off the right-hand side through Sabrina Bukvic. Keep it in tight. The Fens just getting dished out left and right. Grace Hoved pushes forward. yet again. Looking for some space. Plenty of green jerseys out there. No overload. And they're able to come back and make the hit from behind Morgan Vukovic. Good job fringing out, covering their bases on both sides. Got low enough there to get underneath the shoulder. Strong tackle from Alicia Giles. Back into the action, into contact. We're a good 10 to 12 phases into this one, but the Scylla reach back, trying to find an answer here to get over for try number 2. A minute into this march here, inside the 22. There's the beautiful back pass to Kolpak, but just couldn't hang on to it, knocked forward. But you like that strategy, trying to open up a weakness there in that tight 5.
And look at how much space they gathered throughout that phase build-up. We're looking at 12 phases of absolute work, getting deep from their own end after that long kickoff to now right around the 5-meter line. Scylla doing the absolute work, but now their defense has to step up and keep South Buffalo pinned to maximize all that effort.
A little backhanded pass, one of my favorite plays in rugby. It takes a smart, intelligent game manager there at the scrum half position to be able to pull that off, but it brings the defense out and opens things up in the center. Right now, it's the herd rumbling forward. Zoe Siciliano, she's one of the best players on the team out of Ontario, Canada as well. And they've earned themselves the penalty advantage here. They were offsides, were the Scylla. They'll bring this one back in the pocket, kick up over the top, and it sends them retreating.
Advantage over.
Advantage gain, but now here comes Gajewski. Beautiful step around 1. Big collision there, brought to deck and restarts the engines again. Phase 2, but it's knocked on. So a quick little drop of the ball there from Claire Engman, our previous try scorer. We'll send it back to South Buffalo with another opportunity to get control of this one. Lance, they just haven't had enough possession just yet.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of how Scylla plays. They're just able to stay dangerous, stay with ball in hand. But kicking for that territory and playing the territory game has worked really well for them, forcing Scylla to play the entire length of the field or at least try to return fire. And they had good coverage on that kick compared to the first.
So Pitliangas, the physician's assistant, slides it through and now gets it back. Pass across her body. Ends up bouncing up, and the ladies in green continue the surge. Strong tackle from behind there from Kayla Smith. And the herd look to find some space on the far side of the pitch. They'll spin around the corner, looking for something there. Here comes Filer. Dragged down from behind, and it's intercepted. Good work to be able to get back in position for the steal from the Scylla. And again, another only just 30 seconds of possession for the herd. And they're now on the back foot yet again, trying to take these tackles to deck. Another strong run coming through. That's hoved again. The pounding continues. Kolpak. Tinks take them forward as well. They've got numbers if they can spin it, but they'll just look for contact, take it to deck, and secure possession, something they've done extremely well here in the first 11 minutes of action. Space on the outside for the hat-trick scorer from yesterday, Tomaszek. But the herd more than happy just to keep laying the blows as they look to try to secure possession. Again, they were down big yesterday, 36-17, with 16 minutes left to play before they were able to turn it on. Got a yellow card that opened things up a little bit, but they became dominant. They just need to find it again. Good tackle. Beth St. Vincent gets wrangled to the deck, slung down. They're still able to retain possession. Going the wrong way, but it doesn't matter. They recycle. Olivia Jewell. Strong carry, the herd fighting through, but the support arrives to collect it and keep things going through Bukvich.
Thank you. Advantage, penalty advantage, 5 green, offsides.
So unfortunate stuff. That was Chelsea Arnault. They got a little too aggressive. She was offsides. Advantage is on, nothing gained, so we're going to come back to the penalty as Lance the Scylla continue to play great ball handling and continue to secure possession time and time again.
And they find a way to retain possession. Even as South Buffalo tries to surge forward on those counter rucks, Scylla brings the resources necessary to keep the ball available.
One more step.
Grace Hold, the occupational therapist during the week, slaloming her way through the teeth of the defense there. The big number 8 with a great tap and go. She's done that a couple of times, but this time she has it jarred loose. Huge tackle coming in. Herd may have taken the worst of it, but they are showing that they are more than willing to lay their bodies on the line on this defensive end.
And immediately a mirror moment from what happened earlier. Scylla fighting to get down the inside and around the 5-meter line just to knock it on. And now South Buffalo in an almost identical position must ditto what they did before, clear their lines on the kick and work hard to force a Scylla mistake here.
Bind. Set.
South Buffalo squad out of the Midwest. They had a top 4 finish back in 2024, but right now the advantage is gained by the Scylla. The Greek Sea Monsters come up with it, and they are knocking on the door yet again. Big time steal, advantage still being played as well. They'll look to spin it to the outside, but that pass a little bit forward as they tried to find Kaiser on the far side of the pitch, but with the high tackle will come back with an opportunity for the Scylla. Quick tap, space on the outside. They'll sling this one over to Shield, who takes it at full pace, but just gets denied. 1 meter away. They'll keep it in tight with the pack. They'll come around the right-hand side to Bukvich. She gets repelled as well. Another take. Here comes Hickey. Coughs it up. Lost it forward. And another strong defensive stand for South Buffalo.
What an appropriate name for this South Buffalo team. The Herd stands together and works together to defend their home. Look at the way that they swarm the ball, forcing another knock on inside the 5 going in to score. I love this defense.
Great work just to get their hands on it in the midst of that tackle. They were over the line, but just couldn't bring it home. 14 minutes into this one, still plenty to be had here. Up in the air is this match. Put in again here for Anna Pitliangas. They got shoved off of it last time, and they're able to secure possession again. That is a story that we will have to keep an eye on there for the dominant scrums of the Scylla. Second time we've seen the kick up over the top. Counterattack is on here for Hansel. Decide to spin it to the outside. A little bit of a flat pass there, but there's some space on the outside. Big opening here for Prasad. Dishes it back in. Siciliano on the front foot. Back to Prasad. Again, she battled through a cramp yesterday to still get a hat trick and an assist. And an offside penalty gives them the advantage. Kayla Smith was in an offside position. Rip it out of there. Kick this one forward. There's a lot of space back there. The chase is on. They'll have to kick this one in gear. Kyla Hensel just jogged that one back a little bit. No advantage gain. So we're going to come back here to that high tackle or offsides, I think Sybil said, and an opportunity as the Scylla gets sent back 10. The real first attacking chance for South Buffalo.
And I wonder if they want to take the ball kicked out of bounds further up the field and get a line-out situation. But that penalty is just a good moment for them. They've shown that they can attack back, bending and bending but not breaking. And now it's South Buffalo's turn to surge forward here.
Kelly Halliday out of Orchard Park, New York, sends this one a little closer. They'll set this one up about 18 meters away from the tri-zone. Lands for South Buffalo. A couple people to keep an eye on. Again, Zoe Siciliano had a couple yesterday. Number 12, Sierra Persad. She is the fire starter on the outside. See if they keep it in tight here. Inside the 22. Nicely done. Through the hands they come, and they'll look to spin it back here to the center of the pitch. Inside cut there from Zoe Siciliano. Just 1 year with the club. That 12-13 combination has been tremendous there for these first-year players. And a big-time run here on the near side. There's the hat trick scorer, Tomaszek, from yesterday. She gets them out of the woods, pushes it all the way over the 10-meter line, and the Scylla look to charge yet again. This will be the third time they've taken it from inside their 22 and marched down the pitch. Right now, still stifled inside their own. They'll look to spin it here through Smith. Pass does not come to hand through Gold, and it will come out to another opportunity for the line out for South Buffalo.
And it seems as though Scylla isn't playing as clinical as they've been. Sorry, I wanted to give the referee error to explain the situation, but they haven't been as clinical as they were yesterday. The rain affecting so much of what's going on here at these super regionals. But it looks like Scylla is starting to settle in as well as South Buffalo. And we know South Buffalo can surge when given a chance. I'm really excited about how this match is turning out in the first 17, 18 minutes here, Tim.
Crouch.
And again, if anybody is going to be able to take this onslaught here from the Scylla, it's a squad that had enough in the tank yesterday and enough endurance to score 5 tries in the last 15 minutes. They will never be denied or never out of a match, but they lost it forward this time. And again, I think that rain's starting to play a bigger role in this game as another knock-on here with 18 minutes gone by, an attacking opportunity for the Scylla.
Yeah, it's time to make those adjustments, bringing those lines in a little bit tighter, playing with a little bit more randomness. The kicks and how sloppy the ball can be in this weather is going to be really appropriate for a team like South Buffalo, excuse me, especially if handling errors persist here.
Set.
And as we sit now, almost 20 minutes gone by. Again, this is a Milwaukee squad that put up 64 points yesterday, and almost a quarter way through this match, only 7 up on the board as they have another turnover and kick this one back to the Herd.
And with another chance at another opportunity, South Buffalo has to step up here. They got to show that they can punch something in, get close, and not because of the mistakes of Scylla, but through their own work and their own ingenuity here.
Bind. Set.
Sybil Lamine gives out the marching orders. Pitliangas again easily through the scrum. Settled down a little bit. Scylla were dominant early, but the Herd have continued to drive. Another one pulled out of there. Good work there from Fariana, having to get involved with the scrummy in.
Yes.
Now Pitliangas. Space on the far side, but through the hands it goes, just knocked on. And both these squads just kind of feeling each other out here, Lance. Again, 80 minutes yesterday in a hard-fought match for both these squads. Might be coming into play a little bit now.
Yeah, just a weather change. Just not, the ball doesn't have the same level of friction as a dry, hot day. It's just not gathering it cleanly. And it showcases itself for both teams. So it's not one team or another. It just shows how Mother Nature can really affect, and the rugby gods being unforgiving with this rainy day here.
Set.
Engman, the 26-year-old, puts this one in. A little bit of a shove, but a nice stable platform to work from the back. Through the hands they come. Out there to Smith. Kyla Smith keeps things moving with another offload. Over the 10-meter line, and now they've got the back line ready to go. But the second time, Lance, we've seen that foot from a player in the ruck just throw things off, and another knock-on from Claire Engman to turn it over.
And it looks like Scylla was ready to go forward, but the ball just scraping off the leg. And I'm not sure if that's necessarily a forward knock-on, but you got to have clean grabbing of the ball. The referee's going to call those. And just giving the ball back to South Buffalo isn't the plan for Scylla here.
Really, for both these squads, just got to turn that focus up a little bit. Every little mistake could be a championship decision. So got to make sure that they have this one. And again, unable to secure possession here, Zoe Ciliano. She gets driven back and eventually loses possession. Sabrina Bukvich again inside the 22-meter line, and the Scylla look to make them pay. Cut this one back in. Shield finds a little bit of a gap, makes a good 10 meters there. Black jerseys more than ready to secure possession. They'll spin it on the far side. St. Vincent with the nice little pitch out there.
One more step. Yes.
12 meters away now. We've been here before. 3 times they've gotten into this range. Only 1 try on the board. The Herd continued to charge on the defensive end and secure possession. Big run from Heineman. Back in within 10 meters. There's the skip out to the outside. Beautiful little cut back in from Tomaszek, but she gets sent to deck. Huge tackle coming in, and now a scramble for it. But a penalty is going to be given. Quick tap coming. Engman looking for support. Finds it. They're over the line. And in for the try, Sabrina Bukvic. Dots it down, had one yesterday, and gets the second try of the match for the Scylla.
And this just shows you how mistakes turn into points versus strong teams. From the side there, a part of ruck, just disturbing the ruck, penalty given, and look at the speed in which Scylla attacks back. Before the Herd can even get their heels on the try line, they're already inside the 5 with full running momentum. And that is a tough try to make, but one of the easier tries to convert after such a mistake. Scylla is on a roll here early in the first 25 minutes.
Kick is good as well. 14-0 the score. Sabrina Bukvic will take one more look and see how the teacher from Brookfield got it done.
And just a proper schooling there. The forward momentum, just making her unstoppable, just has to secure the ball. And they've been in this position multiple times already today, just losing the ball in the tackle. But this time, ball secured, points secured, conversion good, 14-0 here.
Bukvic out of UW Milwaukee. Hometown hero has played a fantastic match. We've called her names multiple times as they continue to surge over, but this one's stolen away. Great work from the Herd. That's Siciliano. She'll take the quick tap and look to make him pay herself. Drives forward over the 22-meter line. Recycle. Pitliangas has it over, but again, Lance, that's 3 or 4 in a row here as the mistakes are really starting to add up now for South Buffalo.
Yeah, and these are unforced errors. The ball being thrown low and rolling to first receiver. The tips pass not being controlled cleanly. And a lot of it just has to do with mental errors on their side. The weather plays a part, but you know the weather. You're in the weather. You're dealing with it. You got to be able to appreciate and adequately adjust to what's happening around you, because these errors are starting to mount and killing South Buffalo's ability to really push forward. And they've shown that they can.
Scylla have shown this scrum to be quite stout, and they continue to work very hard inside. There's the kick up over the top. Lands in the field of play and then trickles out. The perfect little relief of pressure, and the bounce of the ball starting to go the way of the Scylla here with this 14-point lead with only 15 minutes left to go in the first half. Set up now, Jordan Wild out of Hamburg, New York. We'll get the Herd back going again. This one's tapped back. Has a chance at it, did Wild, but just let it go by, and we're going to end up playing the original knock-on there. Or no, end up having another line out as this one does eventually trickle out of bounds. We'll switch it over, and now it's Jessica Gold with the throw. This one couldn't quite find its target, ends up being a knock-on. Advantage being played there from the Herd. This one through the hands. They continue to play with that little scrum advantage. And there it is, over now as they have made their way through with Kayla Smith. Gets it out there to the left-hand side. A beautiful little burst and a couple of step backs there for Lauren Scheel. Keeps them going. Still numbers out there, but finally they get brought to deck inside the 22, and they get the engines going again. Here's Heineman brings them a little bit closer. She's been outstanding so far, and they are knocking on the door yet again. Kolpak dishes it off to Bukvic, the try scorer. And you see South Buffalo almost got their hands to it, but the contact arrived in the ruck. They had to release off to the right-hand side. It's dropped forward. Gajewski could not hang on to it, and the Herd come rumbling forward over their own 22-meter line now as they look to find an exit strategy here. No points on the board, 27 minutes into this one. They've got to find an answer. Shoved back inside. Kick, box kick over the top from Halliday. Plays some havoc with it.
Thank you. We'll set our
And
scrum
off the
here.
kick, Lance,
My mark here.
they say no advantage gain there off of the previous knock-on, even though the knock-on came with the kick. So unfortunately here for South Buffalo, they're still pinned inside their own 22.
For the injury.
Yeah, and a whistle just a little bit before contact of the ball. Somewhere in this range, decision was already made to go back. And once that whistle blow, everything else is irrelevant. So they're forced to go back to the earlier knock-on, which might not work out best for South Buffalo, but they have their own issues to figure out. Got to fix the handling errors. Got to make sure they keep control of the ball. And they did a bit of that there over the last bit of phase play, but just got to build on it. Scylla's shown that they can go the length of the field off phase play. South Buffalo might be forced to do the same thing in order for them to get on the scoreboard here.
They're back up to their feet. That's Eleanor Hale ready for more action. Again, we thank you for joining us. Don't go anywhere. We still have one final Super Regional Champion to crown later today as Kansas City will get their chance to take on the gentlemen from Aspen. We'll have that match coming your way in just about an hour and a half. We thank you for joining us wherever you might be. Tremendous club rugby on the line here in Chicago. Vermont, Illinois, the home of the Chicago Blaze. We saw the Blaze earlier today. Could not get their ticket and get past the Detroit Tradesmen. But the Herd pinned inside their own 22 still, looking for an exit strategy now. Gets this one out to Siciliano. Have to scramble for it. Prasad, she can't find anything to crack the code either. Now the Scylla have it with advantage. They'll try to come around the edge, flirting with that line. But the defense comes and steps up big. Kaiser could not bring it over. They'll recycle back through Engman. Finds her target, but again, this time it's Hickey that gets repelled. Strong work, though. 12 minutes left to go here in the first half. Taking this one to a 3-score game would be huge for the Scylla, as again, they put up 64 yesterday. Another carry coming in from Jessica Gold. She couldn't find any space either. Now Tomaszek with the dish. Backwards, says the referee. A little bit of sloppy play here from the Scylla, but the Sea Monsters are able to keep this one in possession, and they continue to drive. Lance, multiple times now we've seen the Scylla just patient rugby, pounding their way in with over 10 phases to knock down the door.
Yeah, just got to be able to finish. A few knock-ons inside the 5-meter line has made it so that South Buffalo are still in this match.
Out there to Shield. She coughs it up, and now the Herd back in possession. No advantage really gained there, so with about a little over 10 minutes left to go here in the first half, South Buffalo another opportunity with the scrum, but that has not been an easy task with this hard-charging Scylla pack.
Yeah, and South Buffalo has shown defensively that they can stand up, even though they've given up true tries. I mean, it could have easily been closer to 4 or 5. So they've shown defensively they had to fight, and that's what kept them in their match yesterday, being able to continuously fight, but they got to find some offensive proficiency. And now they have to find some territorial proficiency to get themselves a real opportunity here.
Put it in on a Pitliangas. In and out they come. Over to Siciliano. Breaks it through one tackler. Finally brought to deck, but now a penalty is going to be given here. They didn't roll away quick enough, and it's Shield that gets dinged for the penalty. Right into contact, and over the 22-meter line they come, but the offload does not come to hand. An advantage back on for the Scylla. Just barely getting over that 22-meter line, and now they've got to readjust and get back here for more tackles. Another strong run from Hoved.
No advantage gained on the initial knock.
She knocked it on inside that. So we'll come back to the previous knock on from the Herd. It'll be scrum back to Milwaukee.
And just moments like that, able to keep the ball, no reason to try to get the offload away with so much support nearby. I do understand the thought process, but when it doesn't turn out right, you got to question the thought process, right? They just got to find a way to get more into themselves and work together, and they'll find themselves on the front foot, no problem.
And Again, if they can find some space out there for number 13, Sierra Prasad, the 21-year-old had 3 tries yesterday. And again, they are the comeback kids. So stay tuned because we still could have a fantastic ending to this one. Another split of the defense. Kayla Smith takes it into contact and over the 22-meter line. South Buffalo not really rolling out of there too quick. Siciliano now grabbing the face. Hopefully she can get back. She is an important cog in this herd lineup. We'll spin it out left-hand side through Engman. Into the prop. Kolpak takes it through, but Tinks gets brought down. Not releasing going to be the call as Sarah Tinks Kolpak gets dinged for the penalty. And we'll have an opportunity to maybe a little relief of pressure here for South Buffalo.
South Buffalo can breathe getting that penalty for not releasing. Give themselves ample opportunity to get space. And look at the body height there. On the ball, you might have to question it not rolling away, but clearly had hands on ball and clearly an opportunity to take the ball away and not released by that ball carrier, or due to not being released by that ball carrier. And we do want to see players back on their feet, holding her face in that ruck. The referee didn't penalize her for not getting out of that ruck because she looked like she was hurt, which is good on Sybil, who's an experienced ref here, has done international, national, and a lot of different things. So you start to see the class of the referee here. But now with games starting back up, South Buffalo has work to do.
Good to see Siciliano back into the action after she may have taken a little shiner there to the eye. But still the herd charging forward. They'll boot this one out into touch and get a little bit of a relief here. But the Scylla are able to keep them pinned in. Again, yesterday, both these squads came away with the big victories. For Milwaukee, again, 64-12 over the Utah Slugs. They are, again, looking for their second D2 national championship. First one back in 2017. The Scylla squad one step closer. 8 minutes here left in the first half. Throw in coming from Jessica Gold. Finds that first target there for Kolpak. Engman slides it out. Their forward pack there ready to take it. Heineman continues to charge. The Arborist looking for something to bloom out there. Space on the outside, but St. Vincent cuts it back through. See if they can bring it around. You see Persad out there lurking at all times, number 13 in green. They'll keep it in tight. Off to Bukvich. Throws one to deck. Good job hanging on for dear life there from the herd to make the tackle. Again, a little bit high there. Lauren Keel was upright with it. Little contact made. And so they've earned themselves the penalty. Quick tap coming from Engman. She sees some space off to the right-hand side. Dishes it to Heineman. Takes it into contact. Still more space out there. Vincent. And Vincent couldn't do much with it. Here's Kolpak. Surges forward. 8 meters away now. They're knocking on the door, looking to punch through for their third try of the match. Grace Hoved inches them closer. But she did not release. And again, the Cardiac Kids, South Buffalo, get possession back inside their own 5-meter line.
The only thing I can say South Buffalo needs to do is minimize any penalties, because when Scylla gets running off those penalties, they eat up a lot of meters. Able to bend, not break, hold forward, and get the steal back. And now South Buffalo is on the herd.
Yeah, that time they earned it themselves, getting their hands on it. Getting the not releasing penalty. It wasn't unforced, but this time with the kick, not able to get a lot of defense or distance out of it. And so the Scylla continue to put the pressure on. A little over 5 minutes left to go in the first half of action. Jessica Gold at Mequon, Wisconsin, with the football throw to get us going again. Knocked forward. And here's an opportunity for the herd. They retain possession out the back of that line out. Set up the ruck here with a scrum advantage to their name. Dominant tackle coming through. Olivia Jewell, the 30-year-old, making her presence felt on that defensive end. Dangerous pass, but Siciliano takes it away. Shows her speed. Finally wrangled from behind. Good work from Abigail Kaiser. Looking for some space on the right-hand side. Lance, they were pinned in for almost a good 5 to 10 minutes inside their own half, and now with the penalty and the Scylla going back 10, they've got a chance to break.
Yeah, and that line break just fed energy into this Herd side. And that penalty right there from Scylla, unnecessary, not rolling away, not releasing the tackler, just so anxious to get the ball back. And now you have South Buffalo with a little bit of confidence surging forward.
Fariana started it. Out there to Prasad. There's that burst that we've been waiting for. Good bit of work that time from Sierra. Now they'll spin it back. Center of the pitch, big collision. Brianna Hicks marches her way down. The Herd cycle this one back. Just got to make sure that they retain possession. That one went backwards. It was a scary one, but they continue to push. This one gets kicked out of there accidentally. Play on, says our referee. Tackle made from McLeod. But the Scylla back around their own 22 in a huge charging run, just straight through the defense. Big time play there from Hoved, who is really getting into the action there on the offensive side. Under 4, left to go. Scylla still from their own end. Another big time shoulder coming through, sends Halliday to the deck. Strong work from Jewel. Inside the 22, got to keep this one in play because they started the phase out in front of the 22. Kick went deep. Good work from the winger to come up, but Gajewski couldn't make the tackle. Through a couple. Here comes Bobek. Brings it right back. Great little counterattack to give him another attacking opportunity from near midfield. Strong defense. Hickey finally slings him to deck, but a few more meters made by the Herd. Try to go through the hands, looking for some space. Prasad with it on the outside. 2 tries yesterday for Amanda Lanau. She goes into contact, and the Scylla take her to deck hard, and eventually out into touch. Let's see if we can decipher this one. Who touched it last there, Lance? It will end up for a South Buffalo line out.
Yeah, and for the ball to be taken out by Scylla after that tackle, it's unfortunate, but they did get the ball back and pushed out of bounds. So South Buffalo, even though giving the ball away, still ready on the spot to keep the ball available for their side here. And just good hands to get the ball to the edge. But got to step in bounds, try to, and just good still attempt by Scylla there.
Not straight, the call there, and the Scylla have chosen the scrum with 2 minutes left. Still scoreless on the board for South Buffalo as we take another look at the line out.
I'll take the setup slower. Keep the space between the front rows, please.
And there's some tunnel conversation happening, and that's really important to establish what will go on throughout the course of this match, trying to orchestrate.
Crouch.
But this scrum put with less than 2 minutes to go gives Scylla a great opportunity to extend this lead and break the hearts a little bit going into half if they can get points.
There's the first shove, a little bit of movement that we've seen from South Buffalo in the scrums. That tide may have turned, but a kick up over the top catches them napping deep, and the back 3 just has to scramble for this one. Great work there from Kaiser, coming up and playing havoc on the defensive end. But the Herd with the response. 1 minute left to go in the first half. They'll have to get the engines cranking again 25 meters from their own try line. They'll keep it in tight. The offload does not come to hand. Backwards there off Tink, says the referee. Another chance now for the Scylla. Over to the right, into contact goes Heineman, dishes it off to keep things moving, beautifully so. Kayla Smith charges forward, now 25 meters away from Glory. Over to the left-hand side, gets it into Bukvich. She surges forward, 12 meters away now. The drive continues, off to the left-hand side. Had Heineman, they're lurking from behind, filling in. A little bit sloppy with it, but backwards, says our referee, Levine. Big time tackle on the outside as that's Engman that gets sent to deck, and it's turned over. The Herd ripped it out of there. And more great defensive effort here inside the 22 for the Herd. Only down by 14 with this potent Milwaukee squad.
And you got to respect the tempo that Scylla plays with. When the ball is out of the ruck, they have a few forwards charging forward in pods. If you're not set and ready as a defensive line, you are in trouble, as we see Badger Kings in the back in the yellow hoodie taking pictures, showing respect to those Wisconsin teams. Love to see it.
Throw this time similar, not straight again.
Scrum or line out.
They're on the other opposing team. We'll see what the Herd decide to do with this one, scrum or line out. And they're choosing the scrum. Again, they've gotten a little bit better as we've moved through the 40 minutes of this match. And you hear there from Sybil Levine, Lance, full time on the clock there for the first half of action, so final play coming.
One more push. One thing South Buffalo, surging forward to try to get points is important, but more important is not giving up points deep in your own end. And let's see what decision they go with. Do they get it off the park, or do they push forward to try to make a break in this zero scoreline that they hold?
Levine will reset the scrum. We'll have this one again here through Anna Pitliongas out of Buffalo, New York, Gannon University. Her 5th season with the club, looking to punch their ticket to the national championship. The penalty is going to be given, driving up. They're in the scrum illegally, so got to make sure you stay down low. And the Herd with an opportunity here, into contact they come. It's knocked on, but we're going to have a dangerous tackle there, no wrap, and so the Herd continue on possession, Lance.
And just again, penalty after penalty, and you do not want to get on the referee bad side. I know Sybil to be a fair referee, but always going to take safety as paramount in those scrums and in tackle situations.
Strong surge from South Buffalo. Running line here with the forward pack. They're able to break through the gain line. Another strong run from Vidakovic. Dummy there. Opens up space on the outside. This could be the break they're looking for. Still numbers out there, but a strong tackle slows them down. More black jerseys getting into the action. Good work to wrangle down Eleanor Hale, who could not bust all the way through, but they are still on the charge. Herd, collect this one. Get it back through again. Numbers on the far side. 4v3, but again, struggling to get it through the hands. Backwards says the referee. A couple of kicks through from Abigail Kaiser. Sends it forward, chases on, but she could not take it the distance. Got possession, but playing it on the ground, says the referee, so the Scylla will get sent back 10.
And what do you do here? You almost gave up a bad try right there off of that play. Just didn't get the bounce that Scylla needed to finish. The South Buffalo tap it and get it off the park, but they continue to play, and they'll keep it going. And I just love the fact that the heart of this team is showcased yesterday, and even now, we're going to fight until the whistle blows, and I love to see it.
Again, if you're just joining us late, that match yesterday was incredible for South Buffalo as they were able to get the victory. An incredible match. They were down by 19 points with 15 minutes left, and they strung together 27 unanswered. So they've got it in the tank. Just got to keep fighting and try to keep that score line within reach. This one goes a little over, but secured in the back here by Bilic. Let's see what they do with it. Trying to go through the hands again, but the speed on the defensive side continues to play havoc behind the gain line for the Scylla. Again coming up. Can they get around the corner? Just got to be looking for a little bit more space on the outside. And a big-time carry, Prasad just has to fight for every little inch out there. We're 4 minutes into extra time, into referee time here. And the Scylla are not slowing down on the defensive end. Another big hit off to the right-hand side through Brianna Hicks. Gets the offload, and things still moving for the Herd, but she was left a little bit stranded. Looked like the Scylla stole it away, but somehow the Herd continue with the charge. But this one's ripped out of there. Another break is on here again for Abigail Kaiser. She's got the speed and got it in for the try. Third on the day, and just like that, the Scylla extend the lead. A heartbreaker for the Herd.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. I love to see that they're going to continue to compete and fight, but to get out of the half without giving up points is so important. It's paramount, and those mistakes cost teams championships, and that try right there pushes the lead even further. Great way to be opportunistic as Kaiser able to intercept, has the legs to finish, and that's a big-time winger play here at the break of half.
Seal off the edge, make him go through you. Took that one off the chest, able to catch it in midair and take it the distance. She almost scored the previous one as a huge kick from the far side, 3 for 3 on the conversions. And it's Scylla Rugby out of Milwaukee, 21. South Buffalo 0. We'll step aside, and we've still got another 40 minutes of championship rugby when we return live to Lamont, Illinois.
It's great. We all love each other. We all like hanging out at these tournaments.
Just meeting so many new people and getting to know them is just amazing. And meeting so many new friends, it's definitely.
One word is family. Like, you got people like you could depend on.
Probably my favorite part of playing rugby is like I can forget any problem I'm having at school or at home or just any kind of worry or burden and just like giving my all on the field.
We all choose to come here. We don't have to be here, you know. It's just good fun coming out on a Sunday, playing, getting all together, and just great.
All right, so yeah, I think it's the fact that we can play very hard, smack each other up, boom each other, and just eat good and talk to laugh with each other after.
So, one thing that rugby's done for you?
It's brought up a lot of my confidence. I wasn't very confident in middle school, and I knew that if I wanted to become a better player, I would have to bring up my game, which I did, and I've just become so much like a better person to myself. I see myself in such a bigger light, and I'm honestly so much happier playing rugby.
I ain't gonna lie, if it wasn't for them, I don't think I would like be around here, to be honest. So I guess family.
New York Rugby Club is a great community because they put you around great people such as Alex, my coach Alex, and he teaches me more about rugby, how I can make my game better every day and elevate it to the next.
But like, you feel me? But like, I bet like you know how the hood is, so you know like it's crazy, like around shooters and all that stuff. So it's just keeping me out from there, and then changing from like me got to worry about, I can't walk here, instead of just changing my life and being positive and don't need to worry about anything that much.
I think people really underestimate women in sports. Like in my school, rugby, especially the girls' rugby, is really strong, and I don't think a lot of people expect that that women can have the sort of strength or like sort of drive that men can have in sports. And I mean, you can see today, like, it's pretty much even. Women want to, you know, have an outlet for physical contact or something to blow off steam just as much as men do. And they're just as physical, and we're just as, I guess, you can say aggressive as men can be, and we can be just as successful on the rugby field. So I think it just helped me learn that whatever a man can do, I can do it. It's no worries. I can do exactly what they can do.
Growing up in Mississippi, my prayer was, for as long as I can remember, God, use me. Use this life. I don't know what the future holds for me, but I know that there is a vision for my life that is greater than my imagination can hold. Use me. What would you have me to do? And that dream, that desire, that prayer brought me somehow to television.
And she's gonna learn that this life will hit you hard in the face, wait for you to get back up just so it can kick you in the stomach. But getting the wind knocked out of you is the only way to remind your lungs how much they like the taste of air.
If we want to give all of our children a foundation for their dreams and opportunities worthy of their promise, if we want to give them that sense of limitless possibility, that belief that here in America, there is always something better out there if you're willing to work for it, then we must work like never before.
You might never fail on the scale I did, but some failure in life is inevitable. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default.
Movements for peace when all seems lost. Together, I do believe it is part of the American mission to ensure that people everywhere, women and men alike, finally have the opportunity to live up to their own God-given potential.
It's huge. These limitations, there's been greater limitations before my involvement, which has stopped some athletes from being able to chase their dreams and having to go and fulfill a 9-to-5 job just to live, really.
So in life, you know, there are moments when you stop and ask yourself, how did I get here? Like, why am I standing here? Girls have the power to change the world. It is a fact. There's a really, really beautiful quote that I read recently, and I think it's absolutely appropriate to explain what I'm trying to say today. The hand that rocks the cradle, the procreator, the mother of tomorrow, a woman shapes the destiny of civilization. Such is the tragic irony of fate that a beautiful creation such as a girl child is today one of the gravest concerns facing humanity.
Tell me about your experience with RCT so far.
Well, I think my experience can be best described as really fun and community bonding because I meet so many new people playing the sport I love.
I wrestle and I play football, and there's nothing like rugby.
Yeah, everybody that I've ever met that tries rugby just comes to one practice has ended up liking it. And I asked her like what it was, and she said like full contact, like same rules, guys and girls, and I didn't believe her. And then she was like, oh, come out to our practices. And I did, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to play. And then I started playing, and it was really fun.
I don't know, it's just a game that I love. It's pretty fun though, I don't know, I just love everything about it.
Welcome back to Lamont, Illinois, the Chicago Blaze Complex here, the home of the 2026 Club National Championships. The Northern Super Regionals on the line here for the D2 side. It's Scylla Rugby up on South Buffalo 21-0. I'm Tim Wilkes taking you through the action, joined up in the booth by Lance Kavanaugh from Great American Rugby. And Lance, a strong first half on the defensive side for South Buffalo as they had some strong defensive stands. But boy, the Milwaukee Scylla looked to be tough, and big 3 tries from them in the first half.
And all the tries by Scylla were well earned. And that's what happens when you're in championship moments like this. South Buffalo able to hold up a try, force multiple knock-ons inside of their defensive 5 meter, really showing that they'll fight to the bitter end and make sure all these points are earned. But Scylla at times just too much, too consistent, too fast. And look how comfortable and loose they are here. They look like they're on their way for a crash course into the Final Four. But they still have a second half, and the South Buffalo team showed they can score points late in games and take games away from teams that should have won on the scoreboard.
And they put up 27 points in 16 minutes of action yesterday, but they have really got to get things going. It's cold, it's wet here in Chicago, and it is a big-time deficit here for South Buffalo as they have really got to start playing a little bit better, a little bit more possession, but at the same time, the Scylla continue to pin them in and continue these, a couple of times, 80-meter marches to come all the way back down the pitch. They've just looked so tough in the first half.
They've been strong consistently, and it's really the way that they maximize any South Buffalo mistake. South Buffalo gave up a penalty around the 22, and within 3 phases, Scylla is laying down in the try zone, celebrating, putting points on the board. It just shows the class of a good team. And the last try going into halftime, as you see on your screen here, that interception, we in the booth were questioning, should they go for the kick? Should they just get out of the half with a 14-0 deficit? But somehow strong teams find a way to add points at the most unopportune times for their opposition. And with a 21-point lead, Scylla sitting comfortably with all the momentum and initiative as we head into the second half.
Yeah, I agree with your analysis there, Lance, because, again, you're sitting there only 2 tries up on the board, and, I mean, they've probably, stifled them away from at least 4 or 5 at this point, times that they've gotten inside the 5, but South Buffalo ripped it out of there. So, again, they were playing with fire and got burned late in the second half, but we are ready to rock and roll here for the final 40 minutes in the women's D2 Northern Super Regional. Tim Wilkes and Lance Kavanaugh ready to rock and roll here from the booth and right back to where they started. Again, it is another surge from the Scylla. They're flirting with that midfield stripe and look to push it over here on the next phase. There, pop back to her feet. Good job by Kyla Hansel to let it go. Pop back up before picking it up off the deck. And penalty is going to be given here for the high tackle. Player kind of was leaning low as well. Unfortunate stuff. And the Herd gets sent back 10. Quick tap coming. Has them on their heels. Almost still ripped it out of there somehow. But good work on the outside. I think that was Kaiser that was able to repel the would-be counterattack. Here's a burst through. Heineman takes them inside the 22-meter line where they have played majority of this match. Bukvich gets slung to deck. Gold gets denied. Huge tackle coming up there from Samantha Bilic. Big tackle, Prasad getting it done on the defensive end where they have spent majority of this match just having to repel time and time again. Pick that one off the deck. Levine cordial with it, just tells her to release. No harm done there. And the Scylla continue to push. Again, right into the teeth of the defense. Beautiful little offload. Finds its target there for Engman. They continue to push back in with Bukvich. Just unrelenting pressure from Milwaukee.
Not clear enough.
Another time where they have gone a good 8 to 10 phases. This one goes backwards. They'll play on. Around the edge, but they'll get a little discombobulated with and just have to fling this one out there. First time we've seen them a little bit out of sorts, and a big-time smash of a counter-up came through, fully disrupts things back behind. See the fight here from South Buffalo, Lance. It has been a tremendous defensive stand as they continue to lay the wood.
Yeah, the Herd is strong together here.
But there's space on the outside. The danger woman, Claire Tomaszek. She had 3 tries, the hat trick yesterday. Still looking for her first in this one. Back in, Jessica Gold out of Mequon, Wisconsin. Brings them back in striking distance again. Spins this one off to Melanie Heineman. Good work from the Herd. Almost got their hands on it. But again, they get repelled. Back in the action, off to the left-hand side. Here through Kaiser, but it's ripped out of there. Stolen away. Good work from the ladies in green. They've got their first possession of the second half. Prasad with the kick, not quite strong enough, but it does come off the hands, gives her a little more time to come up and make the tackle as well. Good work to secure that one from Kyla Hansel. The Herd, no giving up here. They continue to play with this one on the defensive end. We're now almost 4 minutes into this match. Into the second half. They've only had about 1 or 2 phases. Out of there they come again for Claire Engman. Tries to spin it, goes backwards, says the referee. Getting some fortuitous bounces of the rugby ball. Just continue through the hands. Hickey to Scheel. Flanker combination working beautifully out there as well with the offloads. Back into Bukvich. This is a team led from the front. They continue to surge forwards, and then they look for the finisher on the outside with the backs. Here comes St. Vincent. Dishes it off back inside. The gap is there for Abigail Kaiser, and Kaiser's going to take it all the way through. Try number 2 for Abigail as she extends the lead for Milwaukee.
And it seems as they're able to keep South Buffalo so pinned back on their own end. And once they got a resurgence of the ball after that kick, they built the phases, melting away players. And finally, when Abigail had the space, the weave through is something that I love to see from wingers, able to keep forward momentum, turning the corner and getting back upfield. That try near to the sticks continues a great run of kicks as well. That conversion was good. 28-0 here early in this second half. And Scylla is just showing their steps ahead, and they're ready for this next phase of this national championship tournament.
And it was Kaiser with the try, but you got to give a shout out to Beth St. Vincent. She kind of started that, orchestrated the whole thing with that beautiful inside ball. She had 2 tries yesterday. The 5th grade teacher getting everybody involved and gets an assist to her name here in the Super Regionals Championship. In 6 minutes, almost into the second half, Lance, and boy, just a replicated version of the first half, as I don't see many chinks in the armor here for this tough Scylla squad.
Yeah, outside of maybe not finishing on the back end of some early tries, they've been playing, almost perfect rugby. These aren't, unaided errors. It's a strong team is forcing these errors, and they're able to respond back.
And just like that, yet again, they're almost losing it, but Beth St. Vincent is able to secure possession and keep things moving. Back here to the near side. Beautiful Fenn just lowers the body height and drives a good 10 meters into enemy territory. Back to Kolpak. It's denied. Strong defense, but it's ripped out of there, and Bukvich continues the surge like nothing ever happened. Finally, the unforced error there. I was just about to say it, trying not to have the commentator's curse there, but the Scylla have gone so far into this second half, so many phases, Lance, and finally, though, knocked that one on and coughed it up.
And there's so many positives, even though the ball dribbled out at the very end. Obviously, the weather having an effect on ball control issues, but just the grind of getting up the field, applying pressure, forcing South Buffalo to make decisions. And they having space and opportunity in the middle of the field. South Buffalo playing desperation defense at times to stop line breaks. And it's just showcasing that Scylla is really rolling right now. Just got to keep it 100% on the back end of those tackles, though.
Coach!
47 minutes into this match. No cards out there.
Set!
Good work from Sybil Levine, who has been outstanding so far in this match. They're able to get this one out of there and through the hands of Pitliangas. Big collision center of the pitch, sends them down, but they're able to recycle and keep things moving. Want to look for some support. There's the looping run. Into contact they come, and a nice little line break to get that pile moving off to the left-hand side. Again, so tight, not really getting wide on a lot of these occasions. There's just such a compact back line, and again, now they're having to fight with it, just trying to turn this one back into something positive. Brianna Hicks leans forward and does just that. A lot of black jerseys in that ruck, trying to counter it, couldn't come away with it. Through the hands they come. This could be the break they need, but again, just one little pass goes awry and slows it back down again. 3 tries for Persad, number 13 out there yesterday. Just have not been able to get her into enough space. She's probably got the most speed out there. Referee lets that one go. It might have hit the deck for a knock on. And now South Buffalo starting to get the engines going here on the offensive side. Space on the near side to come. Through the hands. Just power it forward, lower this one through. Still in their own half of the pitch, yet to get into enemy territory in the second half, and it's not going to come here. Knocked forward, and another turnover ball back to the Scylla. There was a good bit of possession there, Lance, but no meters really made throughout that phase of play.
And that's one thing we haven't been able to give much credit to Scylla for, is their defense. They've been playing with such pressure, fighting in these counter rucks, and the minute that South Buffalo makes a mistake. Multiple players are near the ball. Even if it doesn't turn out that they're able to advance it off those mistakes, it just shows that the pressure is really yielding dividends. And add that to the offensive pressure, it just puts a team in a very stressful state, trying to defend and trying to attack a side like Scylla.
Early in the first half, in the scrums, it was Scylla looked dominant. They have a nice stable platform to work from there. Tomaszek just going to take on two would-be tacklers, but has it ripped out of there. Advantage on and being played here. Great takeaway that time from Samantha Bilic. Back going again. They've got a good line set up here. They bust through, no need for the advantage, and continue to find some space here on the right-hand side. Chip up over the top, trying to get it behind the defense. Lands in touch and trickles forward, so flipping the pitch a little bit, and finally, the first time we will step into the Scylla half of the pitch here in the second half.
And what a great decision. The ball absolutely rocketing off the foot, pushing this Scylla team back. And that's what you have to do with a team. If they're going to score, they're going to have to do it the entire length of the field. They've shown that they can get it down the field, but it just leaves more room for your defense to be able to force a mistake and capitalize when the opportunity presents itself.
Thank you.
Yet again, it's the Scylla, the mythical Greek sea monster. They continue to surge forward and disrupt everything that South Buffalo can throw at them. But now there's space here again for the Scylla. Cut back. Opens up a little more here on the near side. Finally wrangled to deck. It takes multiple to do it. Good job from Pitliangas holding on for dear life to make the tackle.
And the obstruction.
Possible obstruction there.
Thank you.
Sybil questioned it back and forth, but after the advice there from our AR, said probably just let that one go. That's a beautiful take, though. They rip it out of there. Oh, not rolling away the call, though, as they are hit hard there by the call.
And those kind of calls hurt just a little bit. Sometimes you get stuck, you fall in a bad position, and you can't really get all the way out. Trying to get away, but sometimes you just get put in that turtle space where you can't sit up fast enough, you can't roll away in any direction. And it just hurts, but Scylla continues to press forward. And those are the mistakes that they've been capitalizing on all day. It's just now South Buffalo has to defend their own end yet again. And hopefully they can find a miracle stop that they've been showcasing throughout the first half.
Bang, bang call there. And this one's going to go off the mitt from the Scylla. Back with it is the Herd. They retain possession, but still pinned in 85 meters away from their own try line, but they're cutting into it here. Good strong run coming in from Emily Riccardi. Made a good 10 meters that time, opens things up, but again, they just can't get it out to the speedsters quick enough.
Turnover good.
On the outside, time and time again, it's that first receiver that gets contact made. Big collision coming in, great ruck coming there from Caitlin Hickey. Chip up over the top. Sends the defense back retreating. Counter ruck is on, 3v2, but they hold strong to the Herd.
Black hands in.
And eventually they get dinged for the penalty. I think that was Ingman. Tried to get through there. Contact was made in the ruck, but she tried to reach in.
Yeah, and the pressure off of that kick. So many players from South Buffalo had to get the lowest body position possible just to preserve that ruck and able to keep possession. But it looks like the counter ruck was going to take over if not for those hands into the ruck. As Scylla poured multiple players there. You can see the aggression. When they find an opportunity to force a turnover, they run in droves. And they've been showcasing that. The zero score line just shows the pressure that they put on defensively.
Don't forget, folks, we still have one more Super Regional champion to crown later today, as it's the Gentlemen of Aspen taking on Kansas City RFC here in just a matter of minutes. As we march through this match, it's the Scylla continuing to put in high pressure from their own end, as they have been for majority of this match. It's South Buffalo trying to get the engines cranking again. Again, trying to go through the hands, but good French defense. Opens things up a little bit, though, and here comes the Herd. Lanau cuts back in, pops it back up, and keeps things moving there to Persaud. Now in Prasad, the team's leading try scorers on the season. But again, just as they get over that midfield stripe, the defense gets ratcheted up a little bit here for the Scylla. And they cause another turnover. It's knocked on.
Green knock.
Milwaukee back in possession. Retreat a little bit there. Ball's brought in, kept in there from Dominique Gordon. Advantage is over, is on the outside. It's Tomaszek pushing her way through. 15 minutes into this second half, just the one try on the board. Scylla getting their 4th of the match. And now advantage is played. Let's see if they can bring it all the way around the corner. Here she comes. Great work there from Siciliano, just smashing into the teeth of the defense. Prasad out here on the angle there to Lanau. Siciliano gets it back, but you see this tremendous defense. They're not missing many one-on-one tackles, are the Scylla. There's another collision. This time they're able to step through it. Big time take there from Jordan Wild. 27-year-old brings him back. That one possibly forward and got the confirmation from the AR. Time is off here for a sec. We might even have a penalty coming, as it looked like they did not attempt to wrap coming in here with the tackle. Let's double check with our referee.
Foul play, always upright. It is a yellow card.
It's okay. Take your time. My jaw pops. Thank you.
You see coming in there, number 23, Amy Nelson, just jarring that one through. Hoping that South Buffalo player can shake this one off, but land some big collisions still here in this championship match.
I would want to talk about the yellow card, but there's another fact here that just showcases who Scylla are holistically. There was a line break down our near side touch. At least 35 meters were gained. By the time the South Buffalo were able to recycle the ball, move it back down the line, the entire defensive line for Scylla was set again. They hustle back to help fix what the issue is on the edge, and that defensive output able to get them the ball back. Now they knocked it on after that, but just showing that they are hustling on defense and really are prideful on keeping the score line 0-0. And this is a line break here. So much can happen on this line break. A one-on-one tackle needs to be made on the edge, and Hansel, I believe, was the one who made the tackle here, able to bring down the defender. And look at the multitude of black jerseys working to get back, the outside backs, choosing to get in the tackle and get in the area. So by the time the ball comes around, there is space on the far outside, but a deep defensive pressure from the inside doesn't allow South Buffalo to maximize that space. And by the time the ball even gets anywhere near that space, its ball is pulled out. It's a knock on. Scylla's back on attack. The yellow card is unfortunate for the tackle upright, not wrapping. And hopefully the player's okay that got hurt. But it just shows the defensive effort from the Scylla side.
It was Morgan Vidakovic that stepped off the field under her own power. Seems to be okay. A little bit of a head injury, though. And off for the next 10 minutes, it's Dominique Gordon, number 18, that got dinged with the card. Here come the Herd. Off to the right-hand side. Siciliano, she's been tremendous throughout this tournament. Dishes it off there to Amanda Lanau. Siciliano. She'll dig this one out of there, playing a little scrum half herself. Moves it across, into contact through Brianna Hicks. She continues to break the gain line. They'll take this one. Strong tackle, slows them down, but they're mauling this one forward now. Finally comes to deck 5 meters away. Another strong surge. This is the best we've seen on the offensive end so far for South Buffalo. They continue to push. Off to the left. Big surge from McLeod. Gets close, but again repelled away. Now they'll spin it back to Siciliano. She takes on multiple defenders and surges through for the first try of the match for South Buffalo. Zoe Siciliano gets it done.
And Zoe knows. Look at the work put in by this entire South Buffalo team. Siciliano getting points. And you got to appreciate the way that they respond. Immediately surging down the field, all players involved here, so many players getting a touch, so many players in the area forcing those outside defenders to hold integrity for space. And Siciliano seeing it, putting her nose down, and getting those points, and also Sybil being in the perfect position to see that try touchdown. And the first points for South Buffalo are absolutely well earned and deserved, but they did it shorthanded. And at some point, that yellow card is going to come back. Can they continue this rate of play when the teams are even? But while they have the power play, they got to maximize and activate.
But Lance, this might be 10 minutes earlier than it started yesterday, but it all started with the yellow card, gave South Buffalo some confidence. They scored a quick try, 4 more after that, and if they do the same thing, the kick was off, but they could be right back into this match with the 5 tries. That could take them all the way to a possible 33 points and could take the lead, but they've got to keep piecing this together. Don't get too far ahead of themselves, but it is available for them. They've done it before, and the confidence is going to be there.
Now the question is whether or not the competition between that day and this day will allow such a surge, because Scylla is the class of this tournament this weekend so far.
But again, they had 36 points put up on them yesterday. It looked like they were down and out, but they got it done. Now, again, with the 1-player advantage, they just need ball retention, and the numbers should be able to be enough for them to keep things matriculating down the pitch. Beautiful inside ball, keeps things going through Brianna Hicks, and she continues to surge forward. Low pass. It's just going to trickle all the way through that back line.
No, play on for me.
Good job to come through from
Thank you,
Lanau.
play on for me.
Almost obstruction, but good work from our referee, Sybil Levine. Right there, says nothing wrong with that. Spin it back out. Here's that line, defensive line. Olivia Jewell coming up and causing havoc with it. Alongside her, Lauren Shield really doing well in the defensive end as well. Here comes Prasad. So dangerous. There in the center of the pitch, it kind of nullifies her speed. Bring it in, try to get around the defense here, but just the hands not quick enough to get around the corner and around the edge. They'll spin it out, recycle again. Back into contact, tackle made by Tomaszek. They dish it off, keep rumbling. This is what South Buffalo needs. The Herd continue to push forward back into enemy territory. Another run from Siciliano. She scored the try. She is leading her team right now. Chip kick over the top, gets charged down. Right back into it again. Another surge forward.
Yes.
Sends the Herd back into it. And Lance, you can tell South Buffalo starting to ratchet this thing up a little bit.
Yeah, there seems to be a momentum swing, a swing in ambition, a swing in energy. And South Buffalo holding on to the ball and really winning some of these one-on-one engagements that they weren't in the first half. This could change the complexity of the rest of this match here.
Right now, they're doing a good job. Are the Scylla making tackle after tackle? Support arrives there to clean that one up. They try to get around the corner, but it's slammed shut. They're able to squeak through a crack that time. Halliday with a tremendous run there, but a huge counterattack blows this one up, sends them retreating. Back in possession is the Scylla, but it's ripped out of there. Great work by South Buffalo as they've earned that ball back.
Yeah, that is just grind work. Unable to keep possession, losing the ball, but immediately getting it back. And it just shows you throw a punch, I'll return fire, I'll counter. And South Buffalo putting themselves this close to the try zone gives them even better opportunity. You can start to feel a little bit of yesterday boiling and bubbling up here. Let's see how this last 20 minutes go.
So now,
Green,
South Buffalo sets up inside the 22. Looking to strike quickly here with back-to-back tries. 4 minutes ago, they finally got their first of the match. And here they go again. This one backwards, so we'll play on. Through Siciliano out to Prasad, who really has not had much space at all. She tries to dish it off, and it's scooped up. Interception by the Scylla. Milwaukee send plenty of jerseys in there. That was a tremendous takeaway in a hugely contested moment. Got to be careful there. Almost obstruction there on Amy Nelson. But they're able to come around it. Didn't cause too much of a misstep there in the tackle. holding on for dear life, trying to take down Milwaukee, but they continue to push forward. Sabrina Bukvich scored the first try, and she continues to lower the boom out there on the offensive side. 18 minutes left to play. Let's get this one out, get it over to Heineman. Just got to secure possession. That is the most important thing right now for Milwaukee. And they have done a great job so far. Release this one back to deck. They're off the carry from Caitlin Hickey. Another surge.
One step, yes.
Right through the defense. That was Kolpak with it. Now they'll look for something on the right-hand side. Through Beth St. Vincent. Almost got that offload, but it's knocked on.
Advantage.
Flirting with some dangerous play there, but they lose it.
Advantage
Got to get it out a little bit quicker. No advantage, or excuse me, advantage was gained through there. So the scrum penalty back to the wayside there for the knock on. Now we'll spin over to the left-hand side. Again, hard-nosed defense from Milwaukee. Back in the center. Another strong tackle coming from Jessica Gold, but it's a high tackle and they'll get sent back 10. Siciliano with the quick tap and gets them going again over the midfield stripe. Strong take. Siciliano is truly leading from the front now, trying to get her team and urge them forward for more points. Down by 23. But there's the unforced error, but the penalty was on. Another offsides call, multiple in a row, Lance.
Yeah, and just so much gameplay. This is a break we finally get after a lot of things happening back and forth. This last maybe 10 to 12 minutes has been more evenly matched, and it's so much to do with that yellow card implemented. And we just got to see how the game will be affected once that yellow card returns back into the game.
Black 11 offside.
And how Scylla's defense will continue to hold fort as South Buffalo has the momentum here.
Still got a couple minutes left on that card.
Black away.
Green on green violence there as they kind of slung the own ball carrier to the deck, but they're able to retain possession out of it, so a smart play. Looking for some space on the outside, but they sling this one back on the offload. Off the chest it goes. Knock on there from South Buffalo. No advantage gain, and finally we'll slow this one down a little bit as things really getting ratcheted up here and towards the end of this match, Lance.
Yeah, and this is where South Buffalo came alive yesterday. This is around the time they started to figure some things out and put points on the board. And with the momentum over the last, like I said, 12 minutes, you know, not to call out that that's what's going to happen, but you can see South Buffalo are finding confidence in what they're doing. And an opportunity like this defensively to get the ball back, if they can get the ball back, before Scylla can really get more down the field, can really bode well for their chances as this game progresses through.
Set!
It's really the unforced errors that have been the undoing here in the last 5 to 10 minutes for the Scylla. They're back to full strength now.
Back, play on!
Through the hands, ooh, backwards says the referee, and it's scooped up in the back by Tomaszek. She dances around a couple, over the midfield stripe, continues the charge, breaks out of another tackle, looks to sling this one back. It looked forward, and great work there again from Sybil Levine, working so hard 65 minutes into this match, in perfect position to see the knock-on.
And just more continuous work being put in. That line break right there gave pressure, relieved pressure, as South Buffalo now has to work even greater distance to get back down the field. And it's starting to turn into one of those back and forth where the game will stay where it is and they'll fight in the middle of the field back and forth with the ball, which bodes well for Scylla's chances as this time winds down.
Strong surge, but the platform holds. They'll spin it out to the left-hand side through the hands, and it gets through Baba. She couldn't hang on to it. It's knocked forward. And no advantage going to be gained out of this one. So going the wrong direction, though, Lance. They lose about 10 meters here, but it will be the Herds put into the scrum.
And now that that yellow card is back, probably been back for quite a bit, worried about the player holding their arm, but now that that yellow card is back, does that stifle all the momentum gained over that last bit of time? Now that we're back even losing a prop is detrimental to a team's defensive work because you lose a big body in the middle of the field who can really slow down some of these South Buffalo players who've been surging forward.
Mind. Set.
Levine barks out the marching orders, and it's a strong surge, but they immediately popped up there in the front row, so the Scylla get dinged for the penalty. Injured players down there as South Buffalo might have taken the worst of that one. Again, as we look back to yesterday, once that yellow card came back on, that's what kind of got their engines going, scored the first couple of tries. But even without the yellow card, they were still able to notch 3 more onto the board. But do they have enough left in the tank? Already 80 minutes yesterday, 70 into this match as well. Bouncing off their own black jerseys there to keep possession inside their own half. 12 minutes left to play here for Milwaukee. Good job getting the quick ball out of there. The chip comes off over the top, finds a little bit of space, bounces high, but they're able to get it through Lanau. She coughs it up, knocks it forward. Advantage being played now for Claire Engman.
Yes.
Scrummy is in, so they'll have to pull somebody else out. There's the pick and go, just going to take it herself, McKenna Misfeld. Pull it out of there, play on. And a nice, beautiful inside step from Abigail Kaiser. She's been tremendous from this left wing throughout the match. 11 minutes left to go. Another take coming in from Amy Nelson out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the hometown kid, getting her name called here in the final moments of this match. Under 11 minutes left to play. The Scylla, their best movements here in the last 20 minutes or so. Opportunity here on the edge. See the black jerseys fringing out to the outside. They're going to continue to pound weak. Through Shield. Gets it out there. Misfeld. Cannot break through the line. And here's Dominique Gordon. She's back from her time in the bin. Spin it back out. Jewel. Through the hands they come. There to Tomaszek. She puts on the gas. Takes it all the way through. Gets her try on the board and extends the lead. And Lance, that could do it there. It's within 10 minutes of the final whistle, and it's a 28-point lead for Milwaukee.
Yeah, and just the way that the hands were activated to find the space. Doesn't take much. Let the ball do the work and let the speed finish what great offensive play started. And just quick hands, that's something you practice on the field, on the practice field, something you look forward to developing to get better at, and it's showcasing itself here. And that try is the push needed to put them into that final 4. And I'm not saying the lady is singing yet. I'm not saying that the song has begun, but she's definitely warming up her vocals as with that try, the hat trick hero from yesterday, putting the exclamation point over a great defensive effort over the last 20 minutes and a great offensive surge over the last 70 minutes.
Tomaszek out of Pulaski, Wisconsin, played her rugby at UW Lacoste. She a first-year player for this squad, and boy, has she been important for them. 12 years in total, but it's been a great season there for Claire Tomaszek. Again, she had a hat trick yesterday. First real opportunity to turn the Jets on here today. She cashes in with the try. Injured player down for South Buffalo, and can't say enough about the herd. Coached by Aaron Risto. Amanda Lanau also out there as the Jackie Moon player coach.
Anna, we've made a sub for your injured player. Can you have them leave the field?
As we sit, Lance, over 150 minutes of rugby in the books for South Buffalo and the Scylla. Tired legs, but if you're the Scylla right now, you are playing for championship glory.
Our time is off. Leave the ball for a moment. It's a head injury. Take time with your teams.
We're going to step aside, make sure the player gets the attention they need out there, and we'll return for the final 9 minutes here in Lamont, Illinois in just a couple.
Yes. I understand. I just wanted to make sure that...
Most girls are smart and strong and beautiful. Most girls work hard, go far, we are unstoppable. Most girls are fight to make every day. No two are the same. I wanna be like, I wanna be like.
So actually, before I started playing rugby, I was just a cheerleader.
Time is on.
Welcome back here to the Chicago Blaze Complex in Lamont, Illinois. Tim Wilkes and Lance Kavanaugh from Great American Rugby taking you through all the action. This time it's going to be South Buffalo with the kick here in the second half. 2 tries up on the board for the Scylla, just 1 for South Buffalo. As this championship performance for the ladies from Milwaukee continues to push. Backwards, says the referee, off of that drop. And so the surge continues. The Scylla here on the near side. Kaiser been so good in the ball retention category today. And another strong run from Lauren Scheel. Just 19 years with the club. There's another rumble coming through from Patterson. Now they'll spin it. A little over 8 minutes left to go. This one again backwards off the hands. They've gotten the fortuitous bounce a couple of times. This one secured again through Nelson. A little bit stranded out there, but they weren't able to get their hands on it. And still one final champion to be crowned after this one. KC RFC will take on the Gentlemen of Aspen in our final match on the D2 side for the men's Super Regional Championship. Right now it's the Scylla still finding space through Tomaszek on the outside. That spark plug has continued to burn. Into contact again, Scheel. The blue hair. Great work on the offensive end, and this continuity. They've always got jerseys around the ball, securing possession time and time again. Around the corner, beautiful wraparound pass, make it 2, onto the near side. A little bit of space out here, but eventually the door gets slammed shut. Kayla Smith not able to crack the code. But they are still on the charge. Scramble for it. Beth St. Vincent getting mugged from behind, and eventually it's ripped out of there by the Herd. Trying to replicate that one. They do so, but unfortunately not rolling away. Is going to be the call on Abigail Kaiser.
And just finding a way to get the ball back here for South Buffalo. Still locked into this match. 30-point deficit. Maybe the time isn't working on their favor the same way it did yesterday when they made that amazing comeback. But also this team now has to recognize what forces them to be in such deficits as the game presses on into the later ends. So many things that they get to look forward to and fix, and so much hope for the future of this South Buffalo team as they continue to fight. Down 30 with about 7 minutes to go in this match.
4.
It's been a tremendous performance for the Milwaukee Scylla. Only a couple players still on the squad from their last national championship back in 2017 on the D2 side. But they have put in quite the score sheet here. 35 points up on the board, had 64 yesterday as well.
Excuse me. Green knocking the line out, black scrub.
Knocked on there in the line out, and so we'll come back. No advantage gained there by the Scylla, and so it'll be a turnover, and they'll retain, or excuse me, it'll be South Buffalo with the put into the scrum.
5.5. Black.
Yeah, just want to give a big shout out to all the people who appreciate Lauren. Number 7 for this Scylla side with the blue hair. Everyone's been recognizing it over this weekend. It just goes to signal the energy and love that rugby has in the community. And we just want to make sure everybody knows how we appreciate the colorful individuality that rugby players sometimes possess.
Scheel, again, one of those few that were on this national championship squad 9 years ago. There's the backhanded pass. Still went backwards, says the referee, and they continue to surge. Engman takes it into contact. Under 5 left to play in this national championship berth of a match here in the Northern Super Regionals. Again, everything on the line, Lance. How much it means for these squads to be able to punch their ticket. They don't have to go far. As again, the Chicago Blaze will host the national championship here live from Lamont, Illinois in 2 weeks. Couple of dummies there. They spin it to the outside. Big time tackle coming through though. That's KB. Krista Bryan with the tackle. 4 minutes to go now. Clock continues to dwindle. Amy Nelson ready to take on the would-be defenders. They'll spin it back out. Again, now Beth St. Vincent again. This is all the Scylla one. Just let that clock dwindle down, but unforced error will stifle that and give it back to the Herd.
And, you know, this game also has been a testament to Scylla's ability to lean on other players. They had a hat-trick hero, had someone who put up a double. It was a lot of points put up in that last game. But now they having to depend on so many different people to put their hands on the ball, to get involved in these rucks. The team element of the game is showcasing. Able to keep a 30-point lead. 4 minutes left until you have a date with Destiny in the Final Four. And this Milwaukee side can be very prideful for the way that they played throughout this weekend.
Set!
2 tries here in the second half for the Scylla. It's just a few minutes away from championship glory. Little inside ball, switching it back up. Strong run from Siciliano.
The ball is there. Advantage!
Penalty advantage is on there. Not rolling away quick enough for Sybil's liking. Off to the left-hand side through Lanau. Spin it back all the way and retreating, going the wrong direction here are the Herd. Lost a good 10 meters in that, so we'll come right back here for the not rolling away penalty.
Yes. Keep going. Yes.
Quick tap coming. Off to Siciliano. Over that 22-meter line. They've got numbers here on the outside, but again, just couldn't get it through the hands quick enough. Prasad is out there ready and waiting for it. We just have not been able to see her in enough space to kick the Jets on. Off to the right, Siciliano has to go down with it, but knocked it forward in the reach. And it's now 2 minutes away from Milwaukee Scylla being crowned the D2 Super Regional Champion.
Tick, 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 tick. With each passing second, championship glory moves closer. And I have to give appreciation to South Buffalo continuing to compete, not just the 80 minutes from yesterday, but an 80-minute contest here today. And as we give our appreciation to the champions of the Northern Super Region, we got to give our appreciation to the runners-up who've shown us a lot of heart and determination over the course of this weekend.
Yeah, just today alone, I counted at least 5 defensive stands inside their own 5. The tenacity has been there for South Buffalo. They've just not been able to get the scoring they need here in this national championship berth of a match. Off to the right-hand side, here come the Sea Monsters again. Turned over, though, ripped out of there by the ladies in green. They look for one final try to finish off their berth here. Down says the referee. Not forward, so we'll have another opportunity with it. Again, just a little too flat and compact to really get around the defense. They slam in to Claire Tomaszek, who has been outstanding here in her first year with the Scylla. Another big tackle. That time it was Beth St. Vincent getting involved. Boy, they are not giving up any little inch on the pitch. They continue to drive the Herd back the wrong direction. There's Hicks. She'll always lean forward for a couple of meters. Just what they need. And again, their pop passes finally go awry. Claire Tomaszek looking for her second of the match. She already had one a few minutes ago, and she will put the icing on the cake. Try number 2, and 40 points on the board for the Milwaukee Scylla.
And Claire again makes it very clear that this Wisconsin team is not to be trifled with. One mistake is all it takes, and immediately you pay with 5 points. And being that we're at the 80th minute, just got to showcase 5 tries on the weekend, and with team support on this try, players are staying close, and it just shows the connection to this side. Big congratulations to Scylla taking that Northern Super Regional, and good luck in the championship Final Four.
And there's the final whistle from Sybil Levine, and it is a dominant performance there for the Milwaukee Scylla. They are your Northern Super Regional champions with a 42-5 victory. For everyone up here in the booth, for Lance, for everybody at this Next Level Rugby production, we will step aside. We've still got one more on our hands. Kansas City RFC taking on the Gentlemen of Aspen when we return.